He wasn't a Hollywood action hero. He didn't have a machine gun or a squad behind him. Just a single-shot PIAT launcher, a broken body, and sheer determination. Major Robert Henry Cain was a British officer who did the unthinkable during World War II's Operation Market Garden. He stood his ground against enemy tanks, alone. This is the story of the man who faced steel giants with a glorified metal tube, and won. Robert Cain was born in Shanghai in 1909 to British parents. A calm and disciplined man, he joined the British Army before the war and quickly proved himself as a natural leader. By 1944, Cain was part of the 2nd Battalion, South Staffordshire Regiment, which was assigned to the 1st Airborne Division for Operation Market Garden, the largest airborne assault in history. The goal was bold: seize key bridges in the Netherlands, push into Germany, and end the war by Christmas. But the plan fell apart, especially in Arnhem, where Cain and his men were dropped behind enemy lines. Instead of liberation, they found themselves surrounded by SS Panzer divisions and cut off from Allied support. For 9 days, they held out, low on food, water, and ammunition. Cain's job? Defend his sector from approaching German armor. The weapon he was given? The PIAT, projector, infantry, anti-tank, a spring-loaded launcher with a 100-meter range and a recoil that could dislocate your shoulder. It was clunky, slow, and had to be fired dangerously close to enemy tanks. But Cain made it work. On September 20, 1944, German tanks rolled toward his position. With calm precision, Cain waited for the perfect moment. He rose from cover, fired his PIAT, and disabled the lead tank. Another followed, and he did it again. And again. Under constant fire, he moved positions, took aim, and destroyed multiple armored vehicles over several days. At one point, the blast from a German tank shattered his eardrums and filled his face with shrapnel. Bloodied and half-deaf, Cain refused medical evacuation. Instead, he stuffed his ears with cotton, picked up another PIAT, and went back to fighting. Witnesses say his courage was unbelievable. Even as German tanks crushed buildings and rained shells, Cain moved between rubble like a ghost, firing at point-blank range. One war diary records, he was the only man moving among the ruins. He was everywhere danger threatened. Cain's actions helped delay German advances and allowed many of his men to escape. When British forces were finally ordered to withdraw from Arnhem, Cain walked out with his surviving troops, exhausted, wounded, but alive. For his actions, he received the Victoria Cross, the highest award for bravery in the British Armed Forces. He was the only VC recipient at Arnhem who lived to receive it. And yet, when asked about it, he remained humble. "I was just doing my job," he said. After the war, Cain returned to civilian life. He never sought fame. He worked in the oil industry, raised a family, and rarely spoke of what he did. Even his son, Michael Cain, wouldn't learn the full story until years later, when it was featured in a documentary. Robert Cain died in 1974. No statues. No parades. Just quiet respect from those who knew. But his legacy, the man who stared down tanks and refused to yield, lives on. He wasn't a superhero. He was better. He was real. This was Major Robert Cain, the man who fought tanks with a PIAT.